Yesterday, Amazon announced that they're pulling the plug on building a New York City headquarters. It was supposed to be in Long Island City. Locals are split. Some say they just lost 25,000 jobs and the chance to revitalize the neighborhood of Long Island City. But others say Amazon was getting the sweet end of the deal, paying no taxes, getting $3 billion in incentives, not letting workers unionize. What do you think? I mean, it's a mixed bag.
I think
How many people are from Long Island City? Anybody here? No.
No. Okay. Do you want me to start?
Sure, start.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so actually the majority of New Yorkers supported it. 58% of registered New Yorkers backed the plan. 70% of black voters supported it. 81% of Latinos supported it. 51% of white people supported it. Even voters in union households supported it, 53%, so it's a majority overall. I would say this deal would have brought in 25,000 jobs, $27 billion in tax revenue for New York, and New York had offered a $3 billion incentive package. Now, what I would compare it to is I actually toured the Zappos headquarters in downtown Las Vegas that Tony Hsieh moved Zappos to downtown Las Vegas to revitalize. And he did that in 2013. And since he's done it, he invested his own money, $350 million. He invested in local entrepreneurs, chefs, startups. I've toured it. He has helped revitalize downtown Las Vegas. And I think, from my perspective, touring, talking to him, the cultural impact it has when you bring in a corporation, it's not all just this ugly, dirty corporations are ruining a city. Downtown Las Vegas is thriving because of Zappos and because of Tony Hsieh. I would have preferred 25,000 jobs to have been created for New Yorkers. I will also say, just to put a final point on this, if Democrats go down the route of, you know what, we are going to win ideological classroom debate versus creating jobs, and it becomes the party that's against as simple as having 25,000 jobs, it is a very dangerous precedent to be set going forward.
I think you're right, but it's a split amongst the Democrats because Ocasio and that crowd were against it.
It was just New Yorkers that I gave you the
but I mean, what's his name? Cuomo
supported
and de Blasio both supported, both Democrats. So it's a split within the party there.
One of the things that I'm concerned about, I think 25,000 jobs, certainly very important, and I know that most New Yorkers supported it, the type of jobs, because what we're talking about are very high-level jobs, high
Not
income,
all.
Most of them.
A lot of them have to do, who does the packing and the wrapping?
But those aren't the jobs that they were talking about. They were talking about, let's see, 25,000 jobs with an average salary of $150,000.
Really?
So I'm thinking about the low-income jobs that a lot of the New Yorkers needed. I mean, we're talking about a place...
To rebut that, though, when I'm talking about downtown Las Vegas, he also put money into prioritizing people willing to move to Las Vegas, $50 million in art, education, and culture in the area. I do think when corporations move into a city, they understand that there's people like you who think, oh, big, bad corporations coming in. And when you have visionaries like Tony Hsieh, I think they understand.
But let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. So we're talking about the $25,000 job, 25,000 jobs with an average salary of $150,000. So Amazon actually wasn't going to train local people for those jobs. They were going to bring in people from other places. So I was wondering, why not then train local people for those jobs? Why not bring in other types of jobs? I mean, you're talking about a place that has the Queensbridge houses. It's the largest public housing complex in the country. It would have been close proximity to the new headquarters. Why not have a partnership with those folks? It's 60% of its households rely on food stamps. Have a partnership there, train those people, and give those people jobs.
I
think that would have
an incredible opportunity for
it would have made that real estate rise because it.
By the way,
but low-income people wouldn't be able to afford.
We have a perfect example here in New York City. I live right by Google. By the way, it is since 2017 has generated $45.5 billion in economic activity.
But people like you can afford to live there. Those low-income people can't afford to live there anymore.
But let's say all those folks are now moving there for those jobs. It helps the entire area because then you have more grocery stores that pop up.
Do you remember when that happened in
displaces them?
I'm the only one here who's not a New Yorker, but I'm good friends with Marcus Samuelson, the chef who's the owner of the Red Rooster.
I know Marcus
in
very well.
Harlem. And I remember when he brought it in and he helped bring in the gentrification of Harlem. It was very controversial. Today, they love him because of what he has done to the community.
I think
not everybody loves him because, again, there are a lot of people that were pushed out of Harlem and they don't live there anymore.
You know what? Don't screw around with Bezos. The guy went up against the Pecker. He'll go up against the Ocasio. We'll be right back.